So if I start with my childhood, we've always been encouraged to play, no matter what sport it was and no matter what age it was. It was a very integral part of my growing up years, where we played every sport with lots of children in the building. So whether it was, playing something like a kho-kho or something like volleyball or football, badminton, table tennis, whatever came our way, so it didn't matter. And I think this is what I tried to do with my children as well. Like the involvement of my kids in sports today obviously has played a huge role in myself and my husband Jalaj being involved in the sporting endeavors. And of course, then the passion took over thereafter. And we realized that there's a lot that we could contribute, in bringing about impact in sports. So if I talk about table tennis, the endeavor here is to change the perspective towards the sport from leisure to the mainstream sport. And of course, here my main inspiration is my son, who's also a professional table tennis player at the world level. And this is a long term contract that we have with the Table Tennis Federation of India. And we really want to make a difference in the landscape of the game. And we are involved for last 4 years now, 5 years. And I think I already see a huge impact. And that's what it is all about. It's nothing personal, because for me, it's my country that comes before anything else. While this journey was going on, football really came our way. And initially, I have to admit that we really argued. We were not sure whether we wanted to take this plunge. And of course, my husband Jalaj was convinced that we must do it. And I was like, no, I don't understand this game. I don't know what it is all about. And I said, how do I do it? Because by the time we decided to step in, all the other teams were formed. They were ready, with their pre-season plans. And here I am, who doesn't know anything about football. And I'm trying to figure out how to build a team, to understand the technicalities. But I think it's a wonderful journey and I'm glad we got this opportunity to be the part of the football revolution in India under the Indian Super League, of course. And thereon, of course, it's a wonderful journey with 2 cups, 3 finals, table topper. It's a beautiful dream to relive if I have to do it all over again. And then the third venture that I'm involved in is ELMS, which is Excellence Learning and Management in Sports. And of course, we have stalwarts like Abhinav Bindra and Pulela Gopichan, who are, part of this lovely venture. So there is a lot of difference that we can make over here in terms of physical literacy and also high performance in sporting world. So that's the beginning of all the 3 ventures in sports for me. As a child, I grew up with all the boys around me. I don't think I had any of my girl cousins who were my age. So we would typically go, riding at 5:30 in the morning and then come back and go bicycling. After that, it would be playing some sort of a game, then playing cricket at home with glass doors in the back, chandeliers on the top, and TV as your stumps. So it was, and then thereafter, of course, you go down in the building with 30, 40 children and play all sorts of games, whatever each one wants to play. So this is what was important for in our upbringing. It was really part of our growing up. And I think that is what has really brought the main passion. And that's what it is about. In anything that you do, you need passion and you need perseverance. And if you have both in anything that you do, then I think you've won it. So that was just a beginning. But of course, when I was growing up, I had no clue. I mean, I played badminton in college and at college level, but I don't think it meant much in terms of what I would do later on, because I'm a psychology student, So it has no connect with what I do today. But as I said, it's the passion that has really taken over as far as I'm concerned. I feel I'm I'm a HR person. I like to talk to people. I like to connect with my players. And that's what I did starting from season 1. Like, I know everything about all the players, what was their history, what do they do, what their family is like, what are their likes, dislikes. And that's how I connected with them, because I don't think I could have really caught up with them as far as technical part of football was concerned. So this was my trick to getting to know all of them. And I think at the end of it, nobody wants to talk about technicalities all day. They want to know the real person in you. And and after that, it's just my persona, because I remember season 1 and 2, I don't think there was any other woman in the team, nobody in operations, nowhere. And I had to just kind of deal with it. And I was happy to do that. I was happy to do the huddle with the team. I was happy when, I remember in season 2, when halfway through the season we were right at the bottom of the table, and on paper we were really a strong team. And I said to myself, what's going on? So I told the coach, I said, hey, Gaffer, I'm coming in. Just get all your boys dressed up, because I'm sure they are not used to having a woman walk in like this. And of course, Abhishek, being Abhishek, was very enthusiastic and supportive of this. And he says, of course, we must go and talk to them. So two of us went there. We spoke to them. And I really spoke my heart. As I says, I don't prepare myself for any talks or anything. I speak what comes to my heart. And that's me. So I went and spoke to the players. Of course, as luck would have it, things turned around. And that year was the first year, the first time we won our trophy at ISL. So that's how I connect with all my players, all my team members, even at office. You can speak to any of my colleagues in the office, and they can approach me no matter what it is, and I'm happy to talk to them. We have no hierarchy, and I don't believe in any hierarchy. I feel everybody is equal and everybody has a right to connect with you. So there is no boss, and there is nobody lower. As I said, I'm everything in the office or everything in the organization, or as equal as anybody else. So I feel business of sports is not like any other corporate business that we usually look at. There is no ROI. There's no simple answers to ROI. There is a long-term vision. There's a lot of passion, and your success is truly dependent on your team and your players. And what I mean by team is not only on the field, but also off the field. So it really is dependent on somebody else's performance. And you cannot say that, okay, fine, this is going to be my target, and this is going to be my sales, and this is going to be my profit. It doesn't work like that. When you win that trophy, that high is greater than any profit that you make. And when you are at the bottom of the table, that's a low that nobody can get you out of. You got to kind of work yourself out of it. And that's where your self-belief really comes in. So I feel in world of sports, you really got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your team, and you got to also ensure that this is what they start believing in as well. Because it's multiple times that we have had this experience where we have not done well in the first half. And from there, we have come back like from nowhere. Season 1, we were the underdogs. We topped the table. Season 2, we were at the bottom of the table. We won the cup. Season 4, we were more consistently doing well. And season 6, if you see, again, we were almost at the bottom of the table, and we went and played the finals. So it really is how you deal with people. And that's where I think psychology has really helped, where you connect with the people, you talk to them. Like, I like to be part of all the team meetings. I like to talk to them, though I don't like to interfere into the technicalities of it, because of course the coach takes over. But outside of that, I like to be involved. I like to know what's happening, and I'm happy if I can contribute and make a difference over there. Okay, so I'm glad you brought this point out, because usually what you see on screen is on only the glamorous part of it, but there is a lot of hard work of many months that has gone in, for which you see this glory. So if I look at football, then I have a technical team that looks only after the players. I have operations team that only looks after operations. I have the sales and the marketing team. I have the branding and merchandising team. And then, of course, licensing and some of the technical parts of it. And I think I'm really very fortunate and blessed that I have a great team that's put together. And they're all, as I say, I call them kids because they're really young kids and probably my children's age. And there is so much that I can learn from them because they come from a different viewpoint. Like sometimes I say, oh, this design is not good, of the merchandise or t-shirt or something. In fact, it happened just today when I was doing a review with them. And they're like, ma'am, I think that's the new generation prefers this, is what they say. So I'm really happy to learn things from the younger lot that I have. And I think it's really the team that puts things together. Even when the league starts, I mean, I go for a few days or I go on the day of the match or sometime match day -1 and come back the next day. But it's really this team that pulls it off and does things together. And same thing happens even in table tennis. It's the technical team and the operations team that really pull this off. And of course, there is licensing team and people who do all the logistics. They play a huge role and they are the invisible lot. We don't really see how much hard work they put in. And that's why we have something called a team dinner, where everybody comes together and I ensure that all the team members, the playing 11 or the playing team meets the non-playing team who really puts things together. And I think that's important to acknowledge and recognize the hard work done by all of them. So it's not a very clean, clear design in terms of roles sometimes. Because if, say, there's an injury which happened in season 2, we had a colleague who had met with an accident and had to go on a wheelchair. And that time we were a team of maybe 5 people. So somebody else just took over, and things like that. We are happy to help out one another. And we will not say that, oh, this is not part of my job, description, so I will not do it. It doesn't work like that. Everybody steps in and helps out. And truly the teamwork in the world of sports. You are a woman and you will understand this, that even at home, you are a mother, you are a wife, you are a daughter-in-law, you are a daughter. And in my case, sometimes I can extend and say, I'm an electrician, I'm a plumber, I'm a coordinator, I'm a driver, I'm everything. Anything doesn't work, mom, this is not working. And I'm like, so what do you expect me to do? If AC is not working, I'm not a technician. But yes, we do put things together. And I think we as women have this strength of multitasking. And that's really very, very important. And we take charge no matter what. Something doesn't work, something is not charged, it's all mother's responsibility, it's all wife's responsibility. And that's okay. I take it, and always I look at it this way: because you are capable, somebody is depending on you, so why not? And this thing of men's world, I don't believe in that. I just think it's all in our head. It's a perspective. If you think that you are capable of it, you can do it. And as I said, I didn't know anything about football. And here I'm really being truthful. I had no clue that there were different positions. And then I would sit and talk to people and learn. And I think anybody who's willing to learn, anyone who's willing to absorb and accept other people's ideas, can really become much stronger a leader than one who comes with a fixed set of ideas, or a perspective. So that's what it's all about. It's all in our head. So I'm happy to venture out. It's like just now I'm doing something that I've never done in my whole life. It's something called construction. And I'm happy to do it. Why have these inhibitions? So, and I'm happy that all these men are following, my rules and all are in line. That's a tricky one. I think success makes everyone happy because you do put in a lot of hard work. And when you see that things pan out the way you want it to be, then that's what it is. It's always feel that, because then that speaks about your consistency, your ways of working, and you're getting the best out of your team. And then, of course, it is that 1% of luck, whether you go up there and win the title or not. But if you can do the same thing well, consistently, make a difference, then that's what it is. It's like in Tamil Nadu, I don't think football was very, very popular or really accepted as a sport with common people. It was more cricket. And I'm glad that we are able to carve out that space for ourselves and our players, our identity in Tamil Nadu. Or if you look at table tennis, I don't think the world looked at India as a serious player, whether we can organize an event, whether we can create champions, or we can create great players, or we can make an impact. And today, if you see, we have some of the most promising players who are known around the world. The league that we do, which is the Ultimate Table Tennis, is known in many countries. It is being recognized by the International Federation. And people are looking at India with different eyes. And I think that is what really makes me happy, that we are making a difference. We have told the world that we have arrived, so better watch out. And this sometimes let me share this incident with you. I was talking to one of the table tennis players, and one in top 20 of the world. So she was saying that earlier when we used to look at our draw and we said, oh, there's an Indian player, and they said, oh, there's an Indian player. But now when we look at our draw and we see an Indian player and we say, oh, there's an Indian player. And I think this shift in the attitude is really what makes me happy, because that's where we are giving world the right messages and signals, saying that don't take us that lightly. We are a country of billion people, and we can make a difference. So there are lots of different parts to your question. There are several laterals to it. One is that we really need to change the DNA of our parents. We need to tell parents that on weekends, we don't need to go out to the movies and have dinner and come back. We really need to take our kids in the evening to the park, let them play, take them to the club if you can, let them play different sports, let them be involved in some physical activity or the other, and let those children be different. Second thing is education. For us, till say 6th standard, 7th standard, parents are okay. Acha, mera bacha khelta hai, very good. After 8th standard, and typically in 10th standard, they'll say, no, now they have to study. He needs to become an engineer, he needs to become a doctor, he needs to become a lawyer, or whatever. And we somehow, rather parents very often say that education is more important than sport. But I think little differently, and I think it's changing. Now the time has come when people can really make a living out of sporting career. Whether it is being a sports person, whether it's being in management, whether it's in physio, nutrition, whether it is sports scientists, doctors, so many laterals. And I think that is what has made a huge difference. We have actually, the entire economy has been affected by this, because there are so many other factors that are involved in sport that can be, that also grow along with the sport itself. Second is players are doing well, they are being recognized, and they can make a living out of it. So they know that it's a viable career. You look at somebody like, say, a Mary Kom, you look at PV Sindhu, you look at Manika Batra, and so many more. So all these people become role models for the young children, or say, Saina Nehwal, Sania Mirza. It's an endless list. Third thing is that I am glad that many movies are being made on sports, whether it is Dangal, whether it is Chak De India, whether it is some other movie, because that will really inspire people to go out there and play sport and really get the full potential out of the person. Also, the view of the government, their attitude has also changed, where they say that kheloge to khiloge. That I don't think ever before has sports been given this kind of importance. Players are being recognized by several platforms, and that's what it is. No matter how good a work you do, you still want recognition as a human being. And if that is done, then you've really done it all. If you talk about infrastructure, I wouldn't say that we don't have enough infrastructure. I would rather put it that our infrastructure is underutilized. We have lots of stadiums, lots of public parks. How many of them are really being utilized to the fullest? And that again goes back to my point of saying that parents should encourage children to play. But I think slowly there's a shift in the paradigm over here where people are thinking little differently. People are ensuring that children are physically more active, because we cannot say that we are the diabetic capital of the world. It's something to be ashamed of. We have to correct this, because that will come with its own sets of problems. We have to ensure we are fit India in the literal sense. So I'm glad that many corporates are now coming forth, getting involved and adopting one sport and promoting it, because that is what will make a huge difference. And that's a huge support even for the government. We can't expect the government to do everything. We as citizens, we as corporates, we need to also chip in and do our bit. So I think it's a combination of all these things that will make a big difference in the tomorrow of Indian sports. So I think the three things that corporate India can do, one is really adopt a sport, not multiple sports, because you cannot really do justice. So even if you're doing one, two, or like say three sports, that's more than enough, but really go out there and support it. You need to look at a high performance center, because that is something that we really need as a country. And that's where we thought of ELMS and with Abhinav Bindra Foundation and tie up with Loughborough University, which is one of the best in the world for sports. We said we'll have this high performance center over here. Or we said that we will do, say, coaching the coach program with Pulela Gopichand's initiative. So that's the other thing that the corporate needs to do. And third thing that corporates need to understand is that your ROI cannot be in 1 year. It's a long-term investment that they need to make and support that sport. And definitely the results will show after a few years. I mean, when you see that Olympic medal, when you see that Commonwealth medal or Asian Games medal, or whichever one it is, that is what is your really ROI. It's not anything else. And that is not comparable to any amount of profit that you make. So whatever the budget that they keep aside as a corporate house is what they should really, and bet on young people. They need to really nurture and support young athletes, because they will really come up and make a huge difference. They'll ensure that they're learning, or making use of good technology, nutritionists, and all sorts of help that the earlier lot didn't probably have the privilege of. So they can really make a huge difference and really prove that India as a country can be much more than they are today. So the first one would be bet on young talent. Like if you see that in football, we signed these under 21 players, and one of them was under 18, and we sent them to Metz for training. And out of those 5 kids, 2 of them are part of the national team, and 3 of them play for ISL. And that itself, sorry, 2 of them play for ISL, and the other 2 play for the I League. And that itself for me is a great start. I mean, we have to, and this is our philosophy even as a club. We like to bet on young people. We like to bet on new talent, because you never know what the potential is. So that is one. Second is, as I said earlier, that we really need to focus on high performance center, because that's really important. That is the cutting edge technology. That is what will make it or break it. And that's what makes champions for me. So that's really very, very important. And that is something that if each corporate with their setup can do, then I don't think we need to go outside the country to train. We can really bring others to come here and train. So that is the second point for leaders. And the third point I would say is that don't ever give up. We got to keep believing in ourselves. We got to believe in our talent. We got to believe on our bets. And we got to keep pushing it. We have to have that perseverance. We have to have that focus. And the results will come for sure. We have to do things right. So markets can go up and down. But if you bet on the right stock, it will definitely perform and do well in the long run. okay. There is no stopping. When we started off with table tennis, I didn't know we would get onto football. When we added football, we didn't know we would start off with ELMS, with High Performance Center and coaching the coach program. And of course, we have a residential center with almost 300 athletes, 250 to 300 athletes, So we don't know what lays ahead, and why have fixed ideas? Why not venture into new world? Why not do something why not walk on a path that's never walked on before? So I don't determine my future by saying this is what I'm going to do. We will explore new options and we will look at more options and we'll see what best we can do. I think it's just my persona. I don't get hassled by things. I don't get upset when we lose. As in, upset in the sense it doesn't drown me. And I keep pushing myself. As I said, I keep believing in myself. And I said, hoega, kyun nahi hoga? So we have to keep trying and never give up, and rest will follow. We just got to. And I also am a believer of destiny. I take things the way they come. I accept them the way they are. I don't like to fight. You can never fight the tide, is what they say. So it's better to accept it and move on. There's no point in resisting things beyond the point. So maybe that's what it is. But as all these kids say, that keep calm and keep going. That's what it is all about. I have only few messages for lots of people out there in the world that please get involved in sports. There is enough one can do. There is enough we can do in individual capacity, in corporate capacity, or in any other capacity. We don't have to take big steps, take small baby steps, do a local event, just promote a local child who is out there. And let's not really go out only for dinners. Let's really go out there and be physically active. Let's really show the world what we can do as a population, as Indians. And in those times, like in 40s and all, if we can win a Olympic medal in hockey, then I'm sure with all the facilities, all the support, and all the awareness that we have today, we can do a lot more. So really, let's get the best out of us all. We all have so much time, on us, and I'm sure we can do it. And I say this all the time when you see people, in the evening just shopping around, or there's nothing wrong in shopping, don't get me wrong, but just whiling their time. If that time is put to some good use, I'm sure we can really get a lot more benefit out of it. Whatever it is, whatever you like, whatever you enjoy cooking, do that. Make a healthy living for your children, for your family. You enjoy technology, let's make it more efficient. You enjoy something else, do that. Whatever one enjoys, but really let's make the most of the time that we have. In our Hindu philosophy, they say that we get human life after many decades and years. So let's really make that life worthwhile. Let's really make that life meaningful, and let's make a difference. That's my final message to everyone, if that's what you're asking for.